Hi again, everybody. It's Kevin Knesset coming to you from the newsroom of The Observer and TheObserver.com on this, the 6th day of February in the year 2024. Hope you're all enjoying your Tuesday, no matter where you are in the country. And as you do each and every week, you welcome me into your home so that I can bring you this week's news. And we will start off today with our good friend Tony Mondero of the Harrison Weather Center. How are you, Tone?
Kev, you're not going to need a weather guy this week and early into next. We're going to be beautiful. We're going to have nice spring weather. I'm doing great. And yourself?
That's great. So tell us what we can expect in the next couple of days.
Well, next couple of days, it's dry. We're under this high pressure. I haven't seen a cloud in the sky in about 3 days, and that's pretty good. Some strong high pressure over us. It was reinforced last night. We had some overnight low temperatures in the 20s, but it's all uphill from here as temperatures will moderate into the 40s, 50s, and perhaps even the lower 60s by the weekend, all under dry weather conditions. There could be a couple of clouds here and there. And I don't think we introduce a chance of showers until maybe late in the weekend or early next week. And even then, temperatures will be in the 50s. Does that mean that winter is over and our furry friend, the groundhog, was correct with the early spring? I wouldn't put it to that stretch because, as you know, Kev, being a resident of this area for such a long time, and myself too, that weather can turn on a dime here. So we'll have to watch. Heading into nor'easter season, which here coming up will be in the month of March. It's usually a very windy and stormy month it could be. And, before we get into April, and we have an early Easter this year, and it would be early Easter, maybe an Easter snow. So we'll see. There's a lot to watch over the next few weeks, but for the short term, beautiful weather.
I didn't have a chance to talk to you about this, but speaking about weather, do you have any idea what's going on in California right now with these crazy storms out there? Do you follow what's going on the West Coast at all, or?
Oh, absolutely, because as Jim Everwine taught me as a young weather forecaster, where one side of the country kicks or punts, the other side has to field. So most of our weather comes west to east. We have to be careful with those storms, but those storms are traveling to our west shouldn't bother us. Believe it or not, with all the crazy terms out there, atmospheric river is actually one term that we have to educate ourselves on. We do get them here occasionally, thankfully not as bad as California, and I don't think they're going to have a rain or a drought problem going forward. They're getting literally in some parts of that state feet of rain, which are causing mudslides and flash floods and all kinds of problems down there.
I think I might have seen somewhere that there was 6 inches of rain in one county in northern part of the state in one day. I mean, that's got to be incredibly crazy.
I actually saw 11 in one county, a report.
Wow.
Yeah. 11. Yeah. So that's a lot of rain. That is a lot of rain. Here, we haven't had a lot of snow this winter, but thankfully we have had a lot of rain. Now, the drought alarmists will say, well, we really need the snow cover and snowpack. It helps with the reservoirs as well. That may be true if we didn't have the rain. So it has been raining, so we're in pretty good shape, our reservoirs going into the springtime.
Wow. If you're just joining us, we're joined today by Tony Mondero, the longtime founder, director of the Harrison Weather Center. He tells us we're looking at some pretty mild skies in the next couple of days coming up and into the weekend. What else? Anything else on the weather front that we need to know about, or is it pretty much looking at these mild temperatures coming up?
Just looking at the mild temperatures, and we're really in a wait and see mode. What happens over the next couple of weeks? And, I feel bad for the long-range forecasters. There's a lot of these people who are talking about maybe something major around Valentine's Day, but that's kicked off. And to be honest with you, Kevin, we monitor like everybody else. And like we were saying in past programs, it doesn't serve anybody any purpose if we start hyping the weather. And then when we really have something serious to look at, nobody pays attention. So, that's why we try not to hype it. And, we are monitoring, though, every weather system coming across the country.
I'm glad you brought it up, though, because it's exactly what happened a couple of weeks ago. And they were talking about these major, massive storms that New Jersey's got to be prepared for. And it just reminds me all the time of that panic that you've always talked about, and how it's just so unfair when they do that, but yet people still read it and they buy into it, and I'll never understand why they find the need to do that. What does it serve at all, really, right?
I really haven't grasped the social science behind that and the reason why they do it. And to be fair, there's some of the meteorologists out there, or even so-called meteorologists on TV. Some are, some aren't. Let it be known that you're Tony Mondero, your local weather expert. I never went to any formal schooling, so I do not call myself a meteorologist. I call myself a forecaster. In all fairness, we do a lot of reading, we do a lot of studying, a lot of self-studying. So I know about as I say to a few people when I talk to them, I do know my way around the corner when it comes to the science, thank God. But some of this is caused by the news directors and also the people they work for. They want to hype up the situation. I don't know if it serves any good, Kevin. Do you think it serves any good where people hype the weather? And yeah, ShopRite and Foodtown does well, and Ciabra's on Schuyler Avenue, but what does it serve? It scares some people. Actually get scared when you're talking about weather warnings and weather disasters. So here we try to bring it down to earth, and we try to do the best we can, forecasting our local weather and giving it to everybody straight. So if Tony Mondero is telling you that a potential major storm is coming down the road, and Tony Mondero never hypes, time to pay attention. And we are going to be covering all the official National Weather Service watches, warnings, and advisories. And what people got to do, if anybody takes anything away from our discussion today, go download a weather app. I don't care which one it is, as long as it carries official watches and warnings, and weather alerts, lightning alerts, radar alerts. At least now you're prepared. No matter, and the National Weather Service is going to issue those alerts. Those companies don't issue it. The news stations don't issue it. But the National Weather Service does. So let's respect the professionals out there. Use that data. We use it here at the Harrison Weather Center. When it comes to hurricanes and severe weather, we're working very closely with the Storm Prediction Center and the National Hurricane Center to give the right information out there. Because if we don't get the right information out there, people could get hurt.
You have always stressed the importance of being prepared for storms. So what about something like a battery-operated NOAA radio? Do you think that's something should people have that in their kits?
Absolutely. And matter of fact, we actually, on the online Broadcastify feed, or any audio that you hear in the National Weather Service New York City office, we are the ones who carry that feed at the Harrison Weather Center. That's not coming from the National Weather Service out in Upton. That's actually coming from the Harrison Weather Center. We were asked by the National Weather Service a couple of years ago if we would provide that feed, and we told them we would have no problem doing that. So the local feed that you hear on an app is coming from the Harrison Weather Center for the National Weather Service.
That's very interesting. I never knew that. But the good thing is, though, you've got a radio there, and people should have it just in case, God forbid, batteries. People can't charge a battery, or you have no electricity in the house. At least you have some kind of backup with one of those crank radios or something like that. Correct?
Absolutely. You can get them out there as battery operated. Hey, you don't want to hear every warning? Get a NOAA weather radio, same radio, which only will alert you for Hudson County.
Wow.
Watches, warnings, and advisories. So they are smart. But what I would do is leave yourself a buffer. So if you're going to have one of those radios, also alert for Bergen, Essex, Union County. So now you have a county buffer. If a storm is moving fast, you have time to react, because maybe by the time it gets into Hudson County, it's too late. And just Google Liberty Park or Liberty Island 1976 Statue of Liberty tornado. They do happen around here. Very rare, but you'll actually see a picture of a tornado moving very close in the lower end of either Staten Island or Bayonne. Back in 76. Yes, long ago, but severe weather, tornadoes, gustnadoes can happen in this area, and also lightning alerts. You have to be careful out there, especially if you're going to be out and about in the park systems and stuff like that, or having a picnic. Need to be weather aware. You don't need to be an expert, but weather aware.
What's the rule of thumb if you're outside and you see lightning? How long should you be out from the elements?
Well, I always used to say to my daughter, we can watch 2 episodes of My Little Pony, which is about 27 minutes apiece. And
Right.
after those 2 episodes, because Rainbow Dash is the only one that really controls the weather. But after that, 2 episodes of My Little Pony, which is about now 40 to 50 minutes to go out. So the answer to the question is, for those who don't like My Little Pony, I would give it about 45 minutes from the last time you hear thunder. Because you got to remember, as a thunderstorm is moving away, and even if it's a blue sky up there, you can get the bolt from the blue when a thunderstorm is moving away, and the clouding around lightning strike still be able to get you. So yeah, give it about 45 minutes after the last clap of thunder, and then it's safe to go out. Now, if another flash or another thunder is heard, that count starts over again.
Got it. Got it. If you're just joining us, Tony Mondero is here with us, calling for a nice couple of days coming up. We are just a couple of weeks from spring training. Are you ready for this? Is this time of year where you get excited for baseball coming back, or does it matter to you? Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, listen, I got a very friendly email from our boss, Lisa. And Lisa says, well, you didn't talk about the Yankees. So, Lisa, if you're hearing my voice right now, I'm telling you, Tony Mondero is telling you on February 6th that the New York Yankees will finish better than our New York Mets this year. As a diehard Met fan, and sorry, Mayor Prunty, I had to say that because he's also a diehard Met fan. I know you like the Mets too, Kevin. I just don't think that.
No, you're right.
I don't think we're going to do very good this year. I think they made very sloppy decisions in the offseason, and I think the Yankees will do better. So, unfortunately, yeah, I'm going to be watching the spring training, but actually looking away from the TV the same way one would look away from a bad car accident.
Oh, yeah. She heard you. She heard you. I don't know if you could see it on your screen, but she heard it, and she agrees with you. But listen, what you didn't...
probably jumping up and down to death and ecstatic right now. Mondero calls for the Yankees to do better than the Mets. So
seriously. Yeah, you just we have a headline already, and listen, right. All you said was that the Yankees are going to have a better season than the Mets. Yeah. You didn't say the Yankees are going to win the World Series or win the American League.
I don't want to curse them.
Well, of course, when I say the word Mets and you say the word Mets, that's also cursing in Fiorenzo. So,
exactly.
Yeah, she's saying not. Yeah. She doesn't want you to instigate me because I usually get on a tangent whenever this happens. But I'll be good, I promise. Uh-oh.
And that's what it sounds like when a call comes through here at the emergency squad. There's a local emergency, and we have a system called First Arriving.
Okay.
And that went off. I see that my attempts to have this pristine today have now failed.
No, I think that's pretty cool. What's the next step? Are we going to hear an announcement, or is that not in the?
Well, the ambulance is already out on the call, and what happens is they're getting all updates on the computer right now, wherever the call may be. And, it's a nice little system that the Borough of North Burlington purchased for us a few years ago. And, we get weather alerts over that, too. It's great for situational awareness. And for the money that it costs, which is not a lot of money at all for that type of system here to be throughout the building, it's a pretty nifty little system. It's all state of the art here, Kevin.
That's great. That is great. It's good to know the people of North Arlington are safe and you're out there doing your job every day and everybody else who's with you. And Tony, I really look forward to these Tuesdays, and I really, really appreciate you joining me today. And I'm glad the forecast is a good one, so it's good to have that. And we'll do it again next week. How's that sound?
Absolutely, Kevin. We'll see you next week. See everybody next week. And Kevin, have a great show today.
Thank you, brother. It can only go downhill from here. So thank you. I appreciate it. Bye, Tone. That's Tony Mondero. He, of course, is the longtime director and founder of the Harrison Weather Center. He is a fan of the New York Mets like me, and he's a big Seton Hall fan, too. So they're not exactly having the best of seasons, but we really, really appreciate Tony joining us each and every week here on the Observer Live, and I can't thank you enough, Tony, and I'm glad everybody here is watching as well. Now, before I get into this week's news, I have to do some housekeeping things that I do each and every week, and I think I mentioned to you earlier, in a previous broadcast that Colt is in this contest, and I'm hoping you guys can help, and we need you to help by voting for him. His website where you have to go to vote is on the screen right now, americasfaithpet.com/2024/Colt45.1 EBB. If you get a chance, please help us out by going over to that website. You can vote once a day. You might have to log in, I'm pretty sure, with your Facebook. So if you could, it would be very much appreciated. He's Lisa and Johnny's dog, and he's also our mascot. He comes to the office and spends a lot of time here. We love Colt, and if he wins the contest, it's a big $10,000 prize. So thank you all very much for doing that when you can. So now here's this week's regular stuff. We'll get right into it, and we'll start off with this. Tony was just talking about Mayor Pronti in North Arlington, and the borough of North Arlington started recently a water rescue team, and their primary responsibilities are for moments when there are, well, pretty self-explanatory, a need for water rescue. And a couple of weeks ago, when the rain was really bad in the area, from what he said, they went out, did the North Arlington Water Rescue Team, and saved a whole bunch of people who were trapped in their vehicles over on Route 7 out in the Meadowlands. So this is an all-volunteer group of men and women of North Arlington, and the dividends have already paid off big time. There have been some significant rescues, and they do provide a lot of mutual aid. So it's not just for the people of North Arlington, but this is just yet another way where Mayor Pronti has thought outside the box. You know, he's a retired cop. He was a sergeant in Montclair, and public safety is paramount to him in North Arlington. That's not to say that's not the case in other municipalities, because it's certainly not, but he wanted to get this off the ground, and that's exactly what he did. He brought this to them, this volunteer group of water rescuers. They are a great group of young people, and they have been already put to work quite a bit. So if you get a chance, I want you to take a look at this story about the water rescue team in North Arlington and the great work that they are doing there. This young lady turned 105 years old last week. And as you can see, Mayor Carol Jean Doyle and Councilwoman Mary Trine DeCastro are in the photo with her. And how about that? She's at Alaris. I have to admit, I'm not sure if she's at Belgrove Drive or if she's on Bergen Avenue. I would imagine it's probably Belgrove Drive. But Mary Trine, Lila, the mayor, and a host of others and people from her family were there to wish her 105th birthday, a happy 105th birthday, and a mayoral proclamation will be read into the record tonight when the Kearney Town Council gets together at 7 p.m. for its regular meeting of this week. So we wish her all the best and congratulate her on turning 105 years old. Geez, I'm not so sure I would necessarily want to make it to 105, but that is pretty darn impressive. 105 years young. And she looks pretty darn good, too. I don't think I would have ever guessed that she was 105 based on that picture there. So take a look for yourself inside this week's edition. Of course, the big news of the day is that the World Cup of Soccer is coming to MetLife Stadium in 2026, in the summer of 2026. You got to realize something here, if you haven't yet, that this is as big a story as you could ever ask for. The biggest sporting event in the world. The finals are going to be at MetLife Stadium in the state of New Jersey. I don't care what they say, New York, New Jersey, get rid of that crap. Not a single match is going to be played in the state of New York. But about, I think, Jason Bernstein was saying at least 8 matches will be played in New Jersey at MetLife Stadium, including the final game. You realize that they were in competition with the city of Dallas to get that, and we won. And there's about 20,000 more seats in Dallas. So the fact that the state of New Jersey and the region, as they're calling it, won, is a tremendous victory. And beyond that, what this is going to do financially for this area, 1 million people is the estimate of how many people who don't live here will be brought to the tri-state area. That means the hotels, like the one in Harrison, the ones in Lyndhurst. It means the restaurants and all the towns where we serve, the Observer serves, and where you all live. These places are going to be bustling and just absolutely incredible time. It's going to be incredibly wild in 2 summers from now. And what this will do to the local economy is just, I can't even begin to imagine what it's going to do. But they're talking about at least $1 billion of infused dollars coming into the town. And that is just remarkable. So I don't know who was able to convince FIFA to do this, but whoever it was, thank you, because this is going to be something else. And in the story, we have some comments from Bill Golka, the head coach of the Kearney High School boys varsity soccer team. Tony Miola, of course. Lisa was able to reach out to him, and we got a comment from him. He was on the 94 team that last played in the United States. Not the final, but in 1994, the United States hosted the World Cup. So this is going to make that look like a blip on the radar once it gets here. And we also have comments from the mayor and a few others as well. So a tremendous job by the state of New Jersey by convincing FIFA that this was where the World Cup final should be. And for somebody like me, I'm not a big soccer fan, but I know when this comes around, if I'm fortunate, I will be very much into this, and it's going to be a real economic boom for everybody in this neck of the woods. So it's something for all of us to be extremely happy about. And believe it or not, that is going to do it for this week's edition of the Observer Live. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us today. There's a whole bunch of people in the chat room I should recognize first. Melanie Ryan is here. John Drimkowski is here. Barbara Condon joining us from the Adirondacks. Deborah Garcia, who I haven't seen in a long time, is here as well. Deb, good to see you. Henry Atwell, Paul Haggerty, our Yankee fan in residence. Lisa Fiorenzo is, of course, watching from about 10 feet away. Tony Marinaro is also here. He is a Mets fan as well. I think Tony's been down to Port St. Lucie, where I used to live, for spring training. Ron Henry is here as well, and Eileen Matthey is also here. Adam Ginsberg is here. He said, "Did you block me? I can't find your page." I do not think that Tony would ever do that, Adam, but I will send you the link offline, Adam, just in case maybe it's not coming through, but we'll see what happens from there. Also, Tony Esteves is here as well. Tony, good to see you. And Frida Goldman as well. Tony, thank you for popping by, buddy. Don't forget, before you sign off, if you're on YouTube watching us, or even if you're not, head on over, like, subscribe. You're not going to believe this, but when it comes to YouTube, you really get recommended by others who are watching the more the pages are liked and the more subscribers you have. So I'm not going to be a pain about this, but I'm going to remind you every week to head on over to our YouTube page and to like it and to subscribe to our channel. And to be honest with you, the best video quality when we broadcast, even though we're on YouTube and Twitch and Facebook and Twitter and a few others, the best quality is over on YouTube. So if you could do us the favor, head on over there, like, subscribe, and also drop some comments as well. So from the newsroom of The Observer and TheObserver.com, Kevin Knessa signing off for now, and we hope to see you back here 1 week from today and very, very soon otherwise. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.